Hi guys. Okay, we're gonna try this a second time. I was recording before I went live and something was going on, so I don't know if if you can see me or hear me. I need to know. So whoever is live, make sure if you can type in the comments, just say hi or where you're from if you're new and this is your first time watching the broadcast. Hi Andre, thanks for joining. Okay, so now I know we're good, we're live. If you're new to this broadcast, make sure that you type in the word new so I know that I can fill you in on what we usually talk about. So I've been getting a couple of awesome pieces from moms that have been lately reaching out to me and telling me how thankful that they are for the videos and that they've utilized some of the pieces that like the advice that I've given, and it has worked. So if you have tried anything that I have mentioned over the last couple of videos and it has helped you, make sure that type in the comments, let me know. I'd love to give you guys a shout out and to give you a virtual pat on the back. Yay! Hi Zavina, thanks for joining, love seeing you on. And let me know what has worked, what are you still struggling with, so I can provide you solutions. What's your sleep story? That's really what I would want to know. And if you want to take this offline, if you have a little more one-on-one or personal questions, make sure to schedule with me. I put my scheduler, my calendar link on the attachment above. So to make sure it's especially for you, and I open up days, and some of them are nights also, because I've noticed that most parents, we don't sleep at night, so I made sure to have a couple of hours open for you guys to accommodate you. So if you have any questions, make sure to reach out for me there. So today's video, today's broadcast is coming to you live. No, I'm kidding. It's about life, parties, daycares, mommy and me, the park, going to the park, play dates, all these activities as being parents. We sometimes find that the times really suck and they either come within the nap times or even worse, bedtime. So we kind of freak out and then we wonder, I can't have a life because everything revolves around my child's sleep, right? So I'm seeing we're getting a couple more people on. Hi guys, make sure to like the video so I know and I can, shout out to you. So just to do a little recap is what we're going to be doing today is talking about a little bit on how you can have a life and also work on your child's sleep as well. So one of the factors is when you're putting your child down for sleep, and one of the videos that I was doing recently was talking about how you should be putting your little one down to sleep anywhere between 5 to 9 p.m. 8 p.m. Sorry. I'm a little, out of it today. But one of the things is that some parents, they can't put their child down to sleep at 8 p.m. So then what do? What about nap time when you are missing that cue? Like for example, if you have a birthday party, and most kids' birthday parties are dead center of nap time, they're probably like around 12 or 1 o'clock. Go figure, nobody really cares, or they don't consider, that your child has to take a nap. So what you do is, you go through the process of it and you know that your child is going to have a tantrum. Or one thing that you can solve with that is if you are having to go to a party and it is interrupting with sleep, you can either try to do a little earlier nap time, sometimes that works, or what you would do is you would do an early emergency bedtime. So I kind of went on that the last video. And just placing your little one down when you see that they're getting tired. Don't stick to the same bedtime time. You want to kind of keep adjusted to it. It should be relatively close to it, but even anywhere between an hour to sometimes, depending if the child is young enough, it could even be 2 hours. So making sure that bedtime is a little bit early. Now, one of the rules that I always implement, hi guys, I see we're getting a lot more viewers. Say hi. Hi Sarah, thanks for joining. Let me know in the comments below, if your little one is sleeping right now. Have you ever dealt with time schedules as, you know, having an outside activity that has disrupted your child's nap or for bedtime, and how have you tried to fix it? So that's kind of what we're talking about today. So let's keep the conversation going. If you see right here, I'm just drinking water with some lemon. I just like it in a wine glass because I don't drink though. But I drink H2O with on the rocks with ice. So I just figured, you know, if I get thirsty or anything. So what are you guys drinking? Let me know. I want to keep this conversation going and make it interesting. So now back to the topic. When you have an event that you were invited to and it starts to you go away from your child's normal sleep times, what do you do? So one of the things that I mentioned to you is that you would do an early bedtime. But there's always a rule that I follow myself and that I always talk to my clients about. And what that rule is, it's the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time you follow your sleep guidelines, your sleep plan, what you have put together. And then 20% of the time you have life. Hi, Katie. Thanks for joining. So 20% of the time you have life. Oh, that's great, Sabina. Yours is sleeping. You have a sleeping beauty. Oh, I love that. So making sure that you're having a balanced lifestyle is perfect. You can't, I mean, especially myself doing this as a profession, being a certified sleep consultant, at points I started thinking that sleep is like, oh my God, I have to get my kids sleeping at this time. I can't go away from it. We can't go anywhere. And lots of things start to, you know, you want to get invited to parties, you want to have a social life also, but you want to have your kids come with you. So what I started doing and what I started to enforce and tell my clients and what to do is there's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, as long as their sleep is beautiful, it's balanced, you know that they're getting the quality and quantity of sleep that they deserve. And then 20% of the time you have life. You have birthday parties that you would go to. If that happens when you attend an event, like I mentioned, and it gets disrupted within their scheduling, all you have to do is just implement an earlier bedtime, and you might have 1 or 2 days that might backtrack you. So just kind of, you know, keep that keep that in your pocket, in your back pocket, and just remember that you can have a life and, you know, bring your kids with you. You don't have to stay stringent on the schedule, even though it's very important, and you have that done most of the time. But then what you want to do is a small percentage you can go out and you can kind of create more of a balance that way. Hi, Leona. Thanks for joining. So then what you would want to do is, after you have that set up, then the last part is what you would be going to be doing is for making sure that you're creating like a nice life and stuff like that for yourself with keeping everything balanced. Hi, is like I mentioned, the 80-20 rule, but you also want to make sure that when you are with your child that you are putting their sleep as a priority. You don't want to just enforce on going to these events and making sure that, you know, it might be disrupting your child's sleep. You want to keep that balance. So maybe one day you'll go to a mommy and me class, which is dead center in their nap time, and then what happens is on the way home they'll fall asleep. Or what you can do, no, that's not Ari, that's Aaron. He's with my husband right now, so yeah, I know you could hear him. I'll be there in a couple of minutes. No, Ari's actually been sleeping. Ari's my older son. He's been sleeping since 7 o'clock. He's been zonked out. So, but as you can see, it's not working very well with my husband. So that's the life of a sleep consultant also. Sometimes this is live life. So sometimes it, you know, things get bumped down the road, but I still want to give you guys the best content that I can right now. So if you have any questions, let me know. My hubby's there. He's helping him out. So let me know if you have any questions. What's going on? What do you want to talk about tonight? So the main thing that I really wanted to do is just to kind of give you that 80-20 rule and to make sure that you guys know that you don't have to stick and be like you know, like those horses that have those blinds on, that you have to stay consistent every single day for the rest of your life on the schedule. There is leeway around it, but as long as you have 80% of the time focused on having their sleep going on, and then 20% of the time you can have your life. So just making on that. So are there any questions? I'm seeing that we're getting a lot more viewers, more interaction. Let me know, what are you guys thinking? What are you feeling? Are you wondering what I'm drinking? What are you guys drinking? How is your night? One of the other things that I wanted to mention is that I'm thinking of doing these videos at 10 o'clock. It seems as though more of you are on, and let me know if that's a good time. So I will continue on doing these videos at this time. If there's a better time, like maybe during the afternoon, let me know, and then I'll start to, you know, I'll change the program of it, and I'll just do it during the day. But it seems as though there's more interaction and you guys like the videos at nighttime. So I think I'll keep going on with this if that's okay with you. So Leona has a question. My 16-month-old wakes up like 50 times a night. Oh my God, that's a lot. He starts crying and we rock him back to sleep, or put him in his bed with us and call back us. Okay. He moves around a lot throughout the night. So, okay. So one of the things is, Leona, what you want to do is making sure that his sleep schedule during the day is age appropriate for him, and he's getting the quality and quantity of sleep. So making sure not just the hours that you want to do, you want to also make sure that the quality of sleep is perfect. So you would have like a white noise machine, a blackout curtains. Blackout curtains, I keep talking about them often. It's not just because I want you to have nice blackout curtains. There's a reason behind it. Light, any type of light, being it artificial or natural, it suppresses your sleep hormone. It suppresses your melatonin level. So, and that's your sleep hormone. What you want to do is you want to elevate it. Light is our enemy when we're trying to sleep. So some children are really, really sensitive to light. I mean, like really sensitive. Even a night light can wake them up right away. And some kids, they like to have a night light, but you want it on a low wattage. So nobody knows your child better than you. So that's the first thing that I would do, is make sure that the room, the environment is perfected for sleep, making sure that it's between 68 to 72 degrees. How hot and how cold the room is can also wake up a child. Sometimes if it's too cold, they can pee a lot, and then that wakes them up because they'll have a full diaper. Hi Zarina, thanks for joining. So that's one. Two is the scheduling. You need to make sure that their schedule is towards their biological clock times, and that's kind of what I focus on with clients, is that there's certain times during the day, according to the age, that your body produces the melatonin at a higher elevation of it. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to put them to sleep when they're at their peak within that time, and that helps with easing the any type of a tantrum or a fight to help to go to bed. Now then you have the other component, Leona, that you were mentioning, that he wakes up like 50 million times at night, and then you put him in your bed. I think you said that, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you put him in your bed, so what happens is he understands that, okay, in the middle of the night when I wake up, no matter what I do, eventually I'm going to end up in Mama and Papa's bed. So he knows, okay, so good. So he knows that there's a pattern that he has already created for himself, that he knows that this is how he will fall asleep. So what I would advise you to do as far as the method approach is to choose something gradual. You're not going to need anything more direct. It's not going to work for you. You want to choose a gradual aspect where you will first work on the schedule, because the schedule during the day and at night, nighttime is a reflection of daytime sleep. So once the daytime sleep is perfected, nighttime sleep awakeness should get diminished heavily. So you shouldn't see as many night wakings. You might see a couple here or there, but not as much. So you need to have a schedule on for yourself. The other factor is that once if he is having a couple of night wakings, you need to put a plan together for yourself. So what I want you to do is either you can contact me on the scheduler that I mentioned above. I have there my calendar that I open up hours for you guys, specifically for you, so we can put a plan together for you, something gradual that you can kind of wean away from and still give him the proper emotional wellness and a nurturing environment for him when you're helping your little one to fall asleep. So that's one thing. It's a lot of components that I would want to put together, and I would want to know a little bit more about your sleep story on that. So that's something for you at least to start on, is the schedule and the environment to do that. Now I'm going to scroll down a little. Oh, the nanny does that. So then we'll talk to the nanny. If you want, I've done that plenty of times. I usually, when we put a plan together, we work with the whole family as a unit. So it's not just me, mom, and baby. It's me, mom, dad, baby, nanny, grandma, whoever it is. One time I had the whole family in an entire household. It was kind of cool. But you're all a family unit. It's not like you and your husband just created the baby yourself. You have help. So and any kind of help, and that's, you know, including myself, to give you the solutions for it. So I hope that answered your question. I see we're getting a lot more viewers. Show me some love. I want to know that you guys are interested in what we're talking about. I'm going to start reading all the questions. Share this video if you have, you know, if you know of any other moms that can, you know, listen, ask questions. Hold on, let me... Oh, my pleasure. Okay, so let's see. There's a bunch of other questions. And if I didn't answer your question, you can still include it on the thread, and then I'll get to you when I can by tonight. So let's see. Okay, so Leona was our first one. I'm just scrolling. Okay, Zarina. Leona, I have the same with my baby, wakes up 50 times at night. Okay, so Zarina, I hope that answered your question. Also, let me know if it did. If you have, hold on, I'm pressing something wrong. If you have any other questions, let me know. Next is Jane. How long of a nap should an 18-month-old be taking during the day? Okay, so it depends on how many naps your little one is taking. By 18 months, they should be on 1 nap. Sometimes kids are still taking 2. You might be in transition mode, so it kind of varies. It can be anywhere between, you know, 2 and 3 hours. Again, it depends on if your little one is taking 1 nap, if they're taking 2. Sometimes when you're in transition mode, when you just started, it's okay to go from 1, and then 1 or 2 days you would have an extra nap just to kind of balance you off. So let me know if they're in transition mode, so then we can schedule something, and then I could help you on with that. So I know you had a question about that before. If you guys want to know the scheduling for your little ones, I do have on my website under the free goodies what to expect about your baby's sleep, what you need to know about your baby's sleep. So if you go onto my website on achievewithcarolina.com, I do have it under free goodies, and then it literally, I wrote down all of the solutions for you guys on tips, the regressions, the age breakdown of how many naps that they need, the quantity. So it really should be easy for you. I really want to give you as much information as I can to prepare you and to give you the best possibility to have your little one sleeping at night peacefully. So check that out. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's see, let's continue. So Sabina asks, can you recommend a white noise machine, please? Is the machine worth getting? Okay, that's really funny. So yes, the machine is worth getting. The best one that they usually recommend from the American Academy of Pediatrics and the National Sleep Foundation is the Marpac Dome. I do have a couple in stock, so if you do live in New York, let me know and I can, you know, send one out to you. They are recommended to be the best ones because they just have one monotone sound, and it sounds like a fan. So you plug it in, it's on the entire time that your little one is sleeping. It does help significantly, especially for younger ones, to block out any type of sound. It's not your savior prop, so if you're looking for pieces to kind of miraculously change your child's sleep association, if they have one, it's not going to be the solution for you. You need to kind of look more into the reasoning why they're having these sleep associations. So I don't want you thinking that if you buy blackout curtains, if you buy the white noise machine, if you buy a sleep sack, if you buy the Merlin suit, if you buy all these props, that all of a sudden your little one is going to be sleeping if they have associations. So meaning associations, when I say that, I mean the fact that they understand that this is the process and how they fall asleep. So if they need like point A, B, C, and D, in order to fall asleep and it doesn't flow in that order, then they'll have these night wakings that are 100%. So yes, I do recommend for you to get that. It's a perfect machine to get. They do have other ones, but that really is the most highest recommended one, and it has like a lot of testimonials on it that people love it, and I love it myself. I have 2 of them, and I always recommend them to my clients, my little clients. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. Let's continue. Victoria. Hi, my girl is 2.5 years old and screaming every night. Oh, Victoria, I'm so sorry. So screaming, what I would want to know a little bit more about that. Is it night terrors, meaning that she screams, her eyes are closed and she's not awake, but she's sleeping? That can be a night terror around that age, and usually what that happens is, I believe that's in REM state of sleep, and if you ask her the next day, if your toddler is talking and they won't have any recollection of it, it's because they're sleeping. So if that's one aspect, or if what you mean by screaming is that she's just crying when you're putting her down to sleep and that she's constantly waking up, I would look into her schedule. That plays a huge role. So you would want to really focus on making sure that her sleep is balanced from daytime sleep and nighttime sleep also. Once it's a balance for her age and she's getting the quantity and quality of sleep, then you should start to see these screams that you're mentioning to kind of diminish. That's usually the easiest piece that you can focus on at first. But make sure that you go onto my website, achievewithcarolina.com, and go under free goodies and then scroll down to the free sleep template that I have. So that's what I was mentioning to you guys before on what you need to know about your child's sleep. So it's on there. I'm going to try and put the link here for you after the video is done, so you guys can continue on with it. So let me continue on with the questions. Thanks everyone for following and for being, part of this group. If you have any questions, I'm answering them right now. I'm also doing a Q&A all day tomorrow. It's Talk to Me Tuesday tomorrow. Thanks for liking, share if you can. So make sure that on my page tomorrow all day I have Talk to Me Tuesday, so you can ask me one question per family and I'll be able to respond to it throughout the day. So Colleen asks, hello, my daughter is 4. She woke up 1 to 2 times a night, sometimes to go to the bathroom, sometimes not. Now my son is 4 and he seems to be doing the same thing. Is this normal at this age? I'm trying to open that up. They both have been consistently sleeping through the night since about 6 months old. Yes, so my question is for you, Colleen, are you potty training recently? So if you are and they are waking up at night to go to the bathroom, that's perfect. That's totally normal for them to do that. They're still kind of learning during the process for potty training, and it should be relatively fast when that process kind of passes by, because they're already 4.5 years old, and by 5 they already have full control of their bladder, that they should be able to either hold it for the night. If they don't, then I would advise you to ask your pediatrician on kind of going a little step further on what that does. Also, what's something really interesting that I've found out recently is chiropractors, you would want to check out their specialty. Some of them really do work on like reconstructive processes on the bladder to strengthen it. So they do like massages and techniques and stuff like that. So if after a certain time, this is a consistency that they're still waking up and they should be already fully potty trained by that time, which is usually by 5, like I mentioned to you. If you do notice that, then I would advise you to do 2 things. 1 is to go to your pediatrician, mention it to them, see what they advise, and 2, mention to them about maybe seeking a chiropractor. If you do live, Colleen, in New York, I do have a couple of chiropractors that I'm affiliated with and I love them. I bring all my clients to them. I go to them myself and they have done such wonderful work and I really do highly recommend them. So let me know if you would like me to send you their information. So I'll do that. So next up, I hope that answered your question. Jenny. My 2.5-year-old son the past couple of days has been having restless nights, waking up often throughout the night upset, although putting himself back to sleep. Oh, that's cool. So good job on that. Short or no naps. Okay. 40-minute long wakings and upset, waking up earlier than usual. He doesn't protest going down for his naps and bedtime, but takes about 15 minutes to pass out. Okay. So falling asleep within anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes is normal. So I don't want you to think that all of a sudden you put down a child and then they have to pass out and be zonked out fully. It doesn't work that way. Some kids, they might cry, like for a split second, they might belt out. It's just a way that they need to kind of let their energy out. So it's normal that if he's falling asleep after 15 minutes. The fact of the short naps is between 30 to 45 minutes, that's one sleep cycle. So literally he's waking up after one sleep cycle transition. So what I would advise for you to do is, if you're seeing that there's a specific time frame that he is waking up, either put an alarm clock for yourself and then enter the room maybe like 20 minutes before he goes in, and try and reawaken him a little bit, maybe like blowing on his forehead or fixing the blanket, just to restart his circadian rhythm. That's his internal body clock. Once that happens, then he'll go into the next sleep wave, and then that should help you with continuing on the process. If that doesn't work, then what you would want to do is see of a way that when he does wake up, how you would be able to put him down to sleep. If you need more tips on that, let me know. You can schedule something with me and then we'll put something together that we can go on. So that's at least like a starting point for you. Next, let's see who else. Opa, hold on. There's so many buttons here. Only one nap averages about an hour and a half. Okay, Jane, yeah, that's good. So you want one nap to be at least an hour. So if it's a little longer than that, then that's good. Okay. Jane also says that you have no clue how to increase it. So contact me, set up an appointment with me, and then we'll go more into detail with it. Okay, so at least I'll get more of your sleep story, and then we can create a solution for you. So let's do that, Jane, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you think so, yay. Okay, let's see who else has questions. Okay, Sabina says that her little one wakes up from every sound. So then, yeah, you need to get that white noise machine. Victoria says sometimes they are closed and she's yelling my name and cries. Okay, so what you would want to do is, if they're closed, then that can be that either she's having a night terror for Victoria. And what you would want to do is, you can either sit by her and just go shh. That's a calming sound. Sometimes kids just really need to let that phase out, and there's not much that you can do for a night terror than just to make sure that she's protected and she's safe from anything that's surrounding her. So try and focus on that first. If there's more in depth that this is a continuation, then let me know, and then we'll put something together for you, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you think so. Okay, so next is Julia says, my baby's 5. Awesome. Does that mean 5 months or 5 years old? Abigail, hi Carolina, hi. Okay, let's see. Hi Mark, thanks for joining. Hi Gianna, thanks for joining. My pleasure, Jenny. Okay, so Abigail has a question. My daughter doesn't like naps. She will only take about 45-minute nap, and I know that's not enough for that, and wants to sleep a little bit longer, but she will not fall back asleep and will be cranky and will want to sleep again in an hour, which makes the whole day messy. Okay, so hi Amanda, thanks for joining. So to answer Abigail's question, anywhere between, like I was mentioning before, anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes is one sleep cycle for naps. So literally when she wakes up, she's just woken up from one sleep cycle. And what you want to do is you want to prolong that. So what happens is, when one sleep cycle finishes to go into the next, it's probably like 20 minutes or so, like roughly, to go into the next sleep cycle. So if you go into the room where she is after she wakes up, you're kind of like breaking the cycle up fully, and you're making sure that she's fully aroused and she's waking up because she sees someone. So there's 2 things you can do. One is, either you don't enter into the room and you watch her monitor and see if she can by herself go into the next phase of sleep. If she starts crying, then what you would want to do is incorporate some sort of a gradual method, and there are plenty of them out, in Google land. Just make sure that the one that you pick is complementing her behavior and your parental philosophy. And once you implement that gradual technique from her naps, you'll keep a sleep diary also to see if it's working. If you notice that she's still waking up after that time frame and you've implemented these two pieces, then we'll have to go into the next step for it, and that's where I would want you to contact me. So I know I've been mentioning that a lot in, contacting me and letting me know more about your sleep stories, but the truth is that every family is different. What happens to your friends, what happens to your neighbors is not what's going on in your household. And I need to know more in depth so I can properly advise you guys. So I know that that's why I that's one of the main reasons why I put my scheduler up, is so I can give you the proper solutions. So right now, these are kind of starting points for you in where to begin. And then we can do it together and make sure that we fully resolve this. So then you're actually sleeping in 2017 and you don't have to go through this ever again. So that's what I want you to do right now is the tips that I'm giving you. It's your starting basis. But I still want you to make sure that you clear out your calendar for a certain time and make sure that we schedule something so then we could finally get this resolved for you. Okay? Mwah. Awesome. So if you guys like what I'm telling you, make sure you like the video, share it to get your other friends on. We're going to do, I think I have one more. Yeah, one more. And then, two. Okay, so Abigail says, thanks, great advice. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So Julia has one question, and we'll do one more with Milana because she just signed on, and then we're going to head out because you guys need to get some sleep. Okay, so Julia, sorry, press enter too fast. Yeah, I got big thumbs too. My 5-month-old was sleeping through the night since 2 months, with the exception with a couple of sleepless nights mid-month 4. Now we just recently transitioned from the Merlin suit, I love that suit, to the sleep sack, and he wakes around 1 to 4 a.m. every night. Sometimes he turns onto his tummy and cries out for not being able to turn back. Any suggestions for helping him and continuously learn to turn himself? Okay, so at 5 months old, kids are starting to roll over. So nighttime is a reflection of daytime sleep. The only way that you're going to get over this whole rolling over business and him waking himself up is when he masters this technique during the day. So what you want to do is practice more of his rolling over from side to side, from belly to back to belly during the day. The more that he does that, the better it will be for nighttime. I don't want you to think that, nighttime, all of a sudden, the sun goes down, the moon goes up, everyone is about to go to sleep, and, what he did during the day has no reflection of at night. It's the opposite. So whatever your child is instilled, their habits and their behaviors during the day has a complete reflection on what happens at night. So if they're very attentive, if they're very lovey-dovey, they're sensitive during the day, that's a reflection of nighttime sleep also. So you can't implement a very direct approach if your child is so sensitive during the day, because they're going to be sensitive at night. You need to complement their behavior. I stress that a lot, because if you don't, then you're not getting anywhere in your sleep training, and you're kind of just banging your head against the wall and praying that your little one is going to fall asleep. That's not what this process is about. This is supposed to be a bonding process with your little one, and you're teaching them how to sleep independently, but with your guidance in a nurturing fashion and emotional wellness. That's really what I help you with, and that's what this entire process should be. Shouldn't be strenuous for you guys. So I hope that answered your question, Julia. Let's see who else has one. Milana had one, I remember. Okay, so Milana, my 4.5-month-old gets up literally 15 minutes after I put him to sleep during his nap time. Why is that? It's literally 15 minutes in. So Milana, if he wakes up 15 minutes, what I would do is, actually, does he fall asleep and he's like asleep, or is he just lying down and then he pops up after 15 minutes? So if he's asleep and he wakes up after 15 minutes, that's kind of interesting. I would probably see if there's any light in the room that could startle him awake. Maybe there's a noise outside, either in the room or outside. That's a timer that goes off. Make sure that you have white noise machine. There's several reasons why he could be waking up, but really, if it's closer towards the 30-minute mark to 40-minute mark, that's one sleep cycle. If he's waking up, you say asleep, and then out of nowhere his eyes open. So what I would do is, if when that happens, is just go to him and put your hand on his back and just kind of guide him to go back down. You don't want to take him out of the crib. You don't want to be alert and kind of freaking out when that happens, because then they're sponges, they feed off of your emotions. So what I would do is just be really calm and chilled and relaxed when you go into the room, and just put your hand on him, on his back, and just go shh for a long time, and see how that helps him just to kind of go back. It could just also be his body is jacked up on adrenaline. I've had that happen to kids if they're not getting proper sleep during the day and they're having constant night wakings, that their body is just so used to when they fall asleep they pop back up and they wake up automatically. So you kind of want to get into the routine of creating a really good schedule for him. So I hope that answers this question. Okay. So Larissa has one more. Oh, I can't stop not answering you guys. I love these questions. How do you handle morning? Larissa, does that say morning? How do you handle morning wakings for a 9-month-old? I think. I'm not quite sure. Let me know if that's what that means. Because for a 9-month-old awaking, middle. Okay. How do you handle middle of the night wakings? Oh, me and my acronyms, I'm still learning them. So, it depends on how many night wakings you have, but nighttime is, I sound like a broken record, but nighttime is a reflection of daytime sleep. So if he's having nighttime wakings, it's most likely because either bedtime is too late, or naps are inconsistent, or they're not at their proper schedule. So I would want you to look at his schedule, make sure you keep a sleep diary, and see how that goes. You need to put together a diary, his schedule, when he has proper sleep times for his age. Okay, so I hope that answered your questions. We're gonna wrap up. Make sure that you guys, share this video if you love. She has good naps, but I think it's a habit. Okay, so if she's eating at night, yeah, then that's one piece. So usually children, 9 months old, you said, yeah. So for 9 months old and older, children should not be eating at night unless it's a medical condition. So it's purely habitual past that age. So what I would do is first focus on eliminating the night feeds and then also working on the schedule. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, so it's late. I think since tonight I got a lot of wonderful viewers, lots of questions. My pleasure. I think I'm going to stick with the 10 o'clock at night. Is that good for you guys? Let me know. Say yes. Yes, I'm here. Night feedings, Abigail, should end by 9 months. Okay, so yes. So I'm going to stick with the 10 o'clock. Awesome. Okay, good. Okay. Should that be on a weekly basis, like during the week? Weekends also, you guys want to do nighttime at 10? Okay, good. So I'm getting lots of yeses, so then I'm going to stick with 10 o'clock at night. Aw, thanks. You guys are the best. I love the interaction. So, hold on. Next time when we do this, it might be interesting to see what you guys are drinking also. Since I'm just drinking water. This isn't vodka or anything like that. So, okay, so we're going to stick with the 10 o'clock then. And if you have any, well, I'm here now, so I could help you, Abigail. Let me know. Make sure you fill in the scheduler, and then we can chat. So I'm going to sign off right now. I'm going to put in the commentary for you guys to get that free goodie gift. And if you have any other questions that you forgot to ask me, make sure that you can, put it back on the post here. Or when we chat one-on-one, we could do that. Or you could email me at itsme@achievewithcarolina.com. And also, I want you to be on the lookout in a week, I believe. I'm going to be doing a Q&A with one of my besties, Katie Kowaleski, and we put together something really cool for you. So it's called Your Child's Sleep Manual, and it's actually a program that you can sleep train your child by yourself without our guidance. So we're going to be doing Q&As on that, and it's going to be a course. So it's fantastic. We've been working on it for quite some time, and I'm really, really psyched to show it to you. Okay, so you guys are going to get first dibs. Dibs. Okay, so good night. Mwah. Sweet dreams, everyone. Love you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.